Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Coach Mark in Manila here, and if you're in the legal sector, whether you're working at an established practice or looking to start your own maybe, this video is specifically for you. But don't switch off. If you're not a lawyer, the communication and business growth strategies that I'm going to be sharing here are relevant to anybody responsible for sales, marketing or client communication in any profession. And also if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to launch your own business or expand it, stick around. You're going to learn a lot. For legal professionals, mastering these skills is crucial. In today's competitive legal landscape, it's just not enough to be an excellent lawyer. You need to be an excellent communicator and business person too. So let me give you some examples of how this plays out in real world scenarios, because that's what we're here to do. Talk about the real world, not something taught in a classroom or some downloadable course or textbook. So if you think about it, imagine you've just received an inquiry, maybe from a potential high net worth client, about managing their family trust. Now, instead of just reactively answering their questions, here's how you might approach this conversation. So you'd start off maybe by, saying like, thank you for reaching out to us about managing your family trust. Before we dive into the details, I'd like to ask you a few questions to ensure we can provide the best possible service for your unique situation. So listen to what I'm saying here. I'm not just waiting to answer their questions. I'm taking control of this conversation. And then I might say something like, could you tell me a bit more about what specific services you're looking for? What are your main concerns or goals for this trust? So listen to that. I'm not just saying, do you need this? Do you need that? Because those are closed questions. And those just elicit a yes, no answer. So we want to use what, why, where, who, how, when. Those are open questions. And if I say, for example, what did you have for breakfast today? You're going to have to give me information. You can't just say yes or no, right? But if I said, did you have breakfast today? You could just say yes, and then conversation is over, and I've not learnt anything really other than you had breakfast. But if I said, what did you have for breakfast today? You might say, well, I had bacon, eggs, cereal, croissant, whatever. And then I might then say, oh, why did you choose bacon and eggs? So I ask another open question, why did you choose that, to their answer. And then the answer that you give me might be, well, I chose it because it was the only thing we had in. There was nothing else left in the fridge. And I might say, oh, how often do you go shopping? Is this a frequent thing where there's not enough? So keep asking open questions about their answer to the previous question. And that enables us to keep the conversation going for longer and get loads of information out of the potential client. And of course, you don't have to do a lot of hard work. You're just asking what, why, how, when, who, and they do all the talking. Also, people love to tell you about themselves. Their most favorite thing is to speak about themselves. So you want to do as little speaking as possible here and allow them to tell you everything that they're looking to achieve, their challenges, etc. It also helps you build rapport and a friendly kind of connection from the very minute you connect that call. If this was an email, you'd do the same again, but in writing, and ask them about what specific services they're looking for and what are the main concerns or goals for the trust. Now, notice how this approach immediately positioned you as a thorough professional who's genuinely interested in your client's needs. It also helps you, though, quickly assess whether this client is a good fit for your firm. I mean, let's say that they don't actually have a lot of idea what they want to achieve. Maybe it appears that they could be quite difficult to work with. Perhaps it's not worth a lot of money to your company. Now, I know we shouldn't always be about the money, but we do have to be making a profit. So it allows you to quickly identify through these smart questions whether they're a good fit for you or not. And if not, they might be better going and seeking this elsewhere. Remember, you don't want to take everybody's business because some business can lose you money. Let me explain that. So I once worked with a marketer and they were trying to build their marketing consultancy and their sales consultancy, and they thought they should take on every client who approached them asking for their services. But some of those clients, oh my goodness, they were constantly asking questions about what they were doing. They were chasing them all the time on the phone. They were really harassing this marketeer because in a way they wanted to see instant results. And because it wasn't instant, as most things in marketing, it takes at least 3 to 4 months of a definite campaign before you start seeing something trickling through. But the problem is they were constantly demanding that my client was reaching back out to them and updating them incessantly. And that took them away from actually carrying out the marketing work, which then led to a kind of repeat vicious cycle. So you can see that client very quickly, if I'd have been working with my client back then when they took that client on, I'd have said, you know what, you need to gracefully say, you know, I don't think we're the best fit. I think you'd be better off using another service which will be able to meet those, you know, very deep needs. And you can back away gracefully, and then you haven't lost money because your time is money. And this client was taking up way too much time of my client. So let that be a little bit of a lesson to you all. Don't take everybody's business, okay? It's good to say no to certain business because it also means your reputation doesn't get damaged, all right? That's really important too. And as I said, you want to also then talk about other things. So let's say the client expresses interest but raises an objection. Maybe it's about your fees. So here's how you might respond. You might say, well, I appreciate you bringing up the matter of fees. And yes, while we might not be the cheapest option, in fact, we never aim to be because we're a boutique firm. We offer a dedicated service and a personalized approach to your legal affairs. Your investment in our services, listen to that word, investment, not the fee you pay, because that sounds painful, like I'm losing money, but investment, you kind of expect to get a return on investment to grow something, right? So you say your investment in our services will pay for itself multiple times over. Whilst other firms might offer lower rates, you may find that you don't get the same return on investment or value or attention. And of course, if you prefer to go with a larger, less specialized firm, that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't blame you. There are many out there. We pride ourselves on providing top-tier, specialized service with a dedicated approach, which is why we're recognized as leaders in trust law. Now, listen to that. You're not pleading for the business. You're not even saying that they should accept you as their ideal fit. You're also not being derogatory about other companies. So if they say, well, XYZ law firm do it cheaper, you can say, oh, yes, I've heard of them. They're well respected too. The difference between us and them is that we offer a boutique firm offering, which means we do not have excessive amounts of clients, unlike some other firms. So you're not bad-mouthing them like some other firms. And this means that when you need a response, we respond within, you know, a couple of hours. We are there for you 24/7. All right. Now, let's break down why this response is so effective in more detail here. So we acknowledge the concern without becoming defensive. So if you turn around and say, well, we might not be the cheapest, but never use but wherever possible, try to avoid it. Because I'll give you an example. If I said to you, you look great today, but you're immediately forgetting the compliment that I said you look good, and you're thinking, but what? What's the problem? You're looking for the negative, right? So if you want to say to somebody, yes, our fees might not be, you know, the best, but we're kind of distracting them, all right? We feel like we're dismissing them, so we don't want to do that. So we want to say our fees might not be the lowest, right? And in addition, because of that, we can offer a really dedicated service. You get a 1 hour response rate from our team 24/7. We have a team available for you to assist, whatever it is. So you're explaining and keeping that included in acknowledging the client's original objection. If you turn it into a defensive position, you're more likely to find like you're justifying your reasons and arguing a point, and that's not a good way to set up any, you know, business transaction. And also, we reframed the fees as an investment, as I said, implying future returns, or they're going to get something substantial growth-wise or benefit-wise out of it. So psychologically, this matters. We also highlight our unique value proposition. So why are we different? This is really important. Okay. And we subtly contrasted our services with less specialized firms, but we did not badmouth them. We didn't, give them a bad reputation. We don't do that. We stay professional and respectable. Never, ever criticize your competitors. Never. And we demonstrate confidence in our services without disparaging the competitors, right? Like we've just said. So we just are very gracious towards them, say, oh, yes, they're a wonderful firm too, quite similar to our company in many ways. I suppose the main difference, though, for us is that we have this dedicated team and we don't build up and stack up a lot of clients, so we can give you that personalized attention. And that means that you get a better return on your investment with us, for example. Now, when it comes to closing the conversation, instead of leaving it open-ended, you might say, well, based on what you shared, I believe we're well positioned to help you achieve your goals for this trust. I'd love to discuss this further in person. Would you be available to come to our office next Tuesday at 2 p.m? Or if you prefer, we can arrange a video call at a time that suits you. Now, here is what I'd suggest. When you're trying to wrap it up, you don't want to just say to them, well, thank you very much for your time. I hope I've answered your questions. It's been great to learn about you and feel free to come back to us. No. You want to try to push it further forward, but not in a pushy, salesy way. That's not what this is about, okay? You're just trying to help them achieve their goals quickly and for you to secure your client. So you'd say, look, I believe we're well positioned to help you. As you can hear from my examples, this is what we're going to do for you, and give them examples. Not what we could do for you, but what we will do for you. So you switch it to will. We will do this. We can do that. Not we could do this. We can do that. Okay. Subtle changes in your wording. And this is what I coach both in my one-to-one coaching packages. They're 6-month packages. This is a comprehensive package for legal professionals, but also I do other packages for sales professionals and other industries. Okay. But we show you the wording you specifically need in your particular field to impress, influence, negotiate, and also just win new clients. So we say, would you be available to come to our office Tuesday at 2 p.m? Even better, you could say, when will you be available? Right? So actually ask them, when will you be available? Okay. Or if you prefer, you can say something like, when will you be available for a video call at a time that suits you? Or when this week? So try to nail it down, try to zone in on a specific week, time, day, etc. to push that. Because if I say, it would be great to meet with you in a video call, please let me know, then it's open-ended, they might not come back to you. But if you ask them either directly or in an email, when will you be available for that call? They start sometimes to think, yeah, when will I be available? They don't actually think whether they want the call. They then start to think, when could I do this? So that's what you're trying to lead in a very respectable way, your client to take the next step, okay? And remember, in all interactions, your goal is to demonstrate your value, build trust, and guide the conversation reasonably and responsibly towards a mutually beneficial outcome. So it's not just about what you say, it's how you say it. I often say this to all of my coaching clients. Now, in my comprehensive coaching program, we dive deep into these strategies and more. As I've mentioned, we cover everything from refining your legal English to mastering cross-cultural communication, everything that's crucial in today's global legal environment, and also for sales environments. As I say, there's many different coaching packages that follow the similar structure, but for different sectors. So sales, marketing, if you're an entrepreneur, and of course a lawyer. But if you're in another profession, such as IT, okay, pharmaceuticals, please get in touch with me, because this package is flexible to fit. It's specific to your needs. And we work on developing your personal brand, so perfecting your networking skills and creating a long-term growth strategy for your practice. For those of you who aren't in the legal practice, as I've said, these principles equally apply, whether you're finance, tech, other sectors. The ability to communicate effectively, handle objections, and guide conversations is invaluable. And, when you think about it, sometimes I understand it can be hard to commit to a one-on-one coaching program. Sometimes it's not feasible for everybody, your schedules, your time zones, it all stacks up. So this is why I'm also developing a downloadable version of this course. I'm working on the lawyers one first, but there will be others coming in the future for sales, marketing, as I said, entrepreneurs and other sectors. And if there's a course that you specifically would like, you can sign up. If you pop along to expertinfluencepro.com or my Gumroad store at excelnow.gumroad.com, you can sign up to my newsletters there to be notified when these are available. As I've said to you, it's really important that you do more than just literally listen to some YouTube videos. They can help, but it's not the same, okay? Now, downloadable courses give you more flexibility, but I will just say that it's important for you to consider some differences here. So, for example, if you wanted to be a world-class boxer or just good at boxing, right, okay, then think about this. There's several options available to you. So you could, what could you do? Let's think about it. If you want to be a world-class fighter, okay, you could watch a technique video without practicing. Okay. Or you could practice on one of those static dummies. You know those dummies you can get at home that you can just hit, but it doesn't hit you back? All right. Or you could spar with a professional trainer who responds to your moves. Now, which do you think would prepare you best for a real match? Yeah. Okay, sparring with a professional trainer. So this is why, wherever possible, one-on-one coaching is the way to go. But downloadable courses can be a good fit too. But one-on-one gives you that dynamic response back. That's the difference between passive learning, like YouTube, or courses, or books, or whatever, and one-on-one coaching. When you're in a high stakes business situation, you need to be ready for unexpected questions and objections. And that's where my bespoke 6-month coaching package comes in. So just to break it down a little bit for you, what do you cover with me? Well, we cover everything. So months 1 to 2, we cover the foundations and market analysis. We refine your legal English, and if it's not the legal English one, then it's your sales, your marketing, your business English, ensuring you communicate with precision and authority. And you'll learn how to identify your target market and conduct thorough competitor analysis. We also dive into the cross-cultural communication. I've written books about this, and they're selling quite well, so do pop down to my store again, excelnow.gumroad.com, to grab yourself a coffee. It's crucial in today's global business environment to know how to sell from east to west, how to get new clients internationally. If you're a law firm wanting to practice international law, you need to understand these cultural communication differences and practice them with me. Also, we look at their marketing and client acquisition. So months 3 to 4, we cover developing a compelling value proposition to set you apart, create impactful marketing materials, optimize your online presence. We look at your website, your business card, everything. We even help you master email communication to engage potential clients effectively. How do you go and find new clients for your specific, sector? Month 5, we look at sales and negotiation skills. So again, you're going to learn consultative selling techniques tailored for legal services here, but as I've said, it works for the other services I'm developing this for. We help you develop specific strategies for your pricing. It's not a generic course or program, this. I tailor it to you. So in our first session, I find out your specific needs. So here we would be developing the strategies and pricing and handling objections for your particular business model. We would perfect your proposal writing and presentation skills. And then the 4th point we cover off here in month 6 is networking and professional growth. So we help you master the art of how do you network at industry events? How do you introduce yourself into group settings where you kind of want to meet the people in the group already talking, but you don't know how to get into that and start the conversation without interrupting in a rude way. We help you develop your personal brand through public speaking and thought leadership. I'll even show you how to obtain opportunities to be published. So if you want to get some articles online to establish yourself as a thought leader, I can show you how to do that. I've done this myself. I write many articles. I can show you how to do the same. Also, how to create a long-term growth strategy for your practice. So remember, this isn't just about if you're in a practice already. This will help you if you're responsible for marketing in a legal practice, but also if you want to set up your own independent law firm. And it isn't just about sounding like a native speaker. It's about maintaining confidence and fluency when faced with challenging situations. So it's really important for you that you think about it, that your effective communication, no matter whether you're a lawyer, sales, entrepreneur, or whatever, is essential. Okay. Without that, you can know all of the words in the English vocabulary, even. You could have great grammar. But if you can't flow, if you can't react, as I said, get used to sparring with me and knowing how to come back to objections, right? Then you're going to be left stumbling over your words. And the minute you start to go, oh, well, blah, and it falls apart, you lose credibility, right? This is the very brutal truth. If you're in a meeting and you're not used to having responses back because you've just practiced on your own with an online YouTube video or something, as soon as you get literally punched verbally, let's face it, by your client with an objection or another question, you don't know how to deal with it. You start to stumble, or you go silent, or even worse, you just go blank. All right, we've all been there. Then you lose credibility. Then they think there's something not right here. We're not so sure whether we should trust doing business here, right? And when you think about it yourself, when you've been in that situation, if somebody does that with you, how do you feel? Yeah, you honestly and truly feel that perhaps you shouldn't risk it with this person and maybe they are not so sure about themselves. And in a legal setting, you want to be sure that the lawyer you're working with knows their stuff, right? Okay. So before you wrap it up with me here today, I want to thank you again for being here, for taking the time to listen to this. I really hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to see and hear from me. Also, grab your free 30-minute coaching session with me. That's without obligation. That's at expertinfluencepro.com. Also, if you want to book this package, this 6-month package, you can do that. The details are on my website. Again, the same website. You can book that package. And then what we do in our first session, then we cover exactly what your specific needs are so we can tailor those points I mentioned to your specific needs. Of course, if you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe it, and share it with your colleagues, please, because I really want to help as many of you worldwide. And stay tuned for more videos tailored for various professionals, all right? I'm working so hard on a number of things here. Remember, in the professional world, every interaction is the opportunity to showcase your expertise and value. The question is, are you making the most of those opportunities? How do you sound? If you don't sound so great, get in touch with me. Do make that connection. I want to help you. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe.